And think of the Lord as the indweller of all this. That is what it means. Yad bhutam yachya bhavyam uta amrutatvasya isyana. All this is the existence of the one Lord who pervades beyond space and time, that is eternity. Because time is only a projection of our mind. Even when there was no mind existing to us, it was there, the creation, and the Lord was there. Therefore, He is beyond time. Since we have trained ourselves to see only through mind, let us once again remember that we can see beyond mind. Suppose I am not allowed to go out of this hall, and if I say sky, to me sky means that which I can see through this window, because I am trained to see the sky only through the window. If you take me out to the terrace, it will be a new dimension to me. Suppose there is a little worm called caterpillar. Its world is between two leaves, one leaf to crawl and another leaf to conduct its profession, that is to live upon. And then suppose there is his elder brother caterpillar who slept for a while and then woke up as a butterfly. Do you know that caterpillars wake up as butterflies? I think many of you know. And then he goes round and finds many trees, and again returns and says to his younger brother, there are many trees and a sky. And he says, you are a fool, you take one leaf and be eating until you die. Because the younger brother has not yet seen what sky is and what other trees are. He never knows that so many trees exist. He knows that a few leaves exist and they are enough for it to eat for himself. So the elder brother cannot convince the younger brother until the younger brother also gets his wings and takes a flight. So we are expected to take the advice of the masters who see and report to us, to see the space not only through the window of the present tense of our mind, which we call time, but have an idea of the existence of the world long before our mind existed. Then you can have an idea of eternity, at least a faint idea of eternity. That is what he means. Because what we call mind is only a window, and what we call time is only a vision through the window. And when the mind is not there, you are there. For example, while you are sleeping, you are there, unless you cannot hope of getting up again in the morning. There is no necessity of your wife preparing coffee for you. We sleep with a hope to wake up the next morning. And in the meanwhile, even though we have no mind, we know that we exist. Remember this. And have this as a simile for you to understand what is eternity. So you can have an idea of the eternal existence of the creation, and then think that the Lord is the dweller of that existence. Then, yat annena atirohati. Anna means food. What is food? The same fellow exists as the tree, the same fellow exists as the cow, the same fellow exists as the human being. The cow eats the tree, the human being eats the cow and the tree. Then what is food? The indweller of all these three is called food, but the mutual relationship is technically called food or metabolism. Food is nothing but the mutual relationship between two living fellows. That is how the scriptures describe. We eat fish, but fish is also a living being like us. But to us, fish is food. To the giant, suppose there is a giant humanity that comes to earth from Mars or from Jupiter. If they begin to eat us, of course we don't wish it, just as the fish doesn't wish to be eaten by us. The fish also is not happy if we are eating it. It very much wishes that it has to meet its own wife and children before we eat it. Because we, the human beings, do not believe that the fish has its own wife and children and its education and its children's education also. We don't believe that it exists because we are poor human fellows. So the authors of the scriptures, they know all these things. They can see like a fish, they can see like a human being, they can see like a tree, and they think as the background of all the living beings. That's why they could give us the scriptures. And then they ask us to meditate upon the Lord as the existence in everyone, one eating the other. That is called food. And then what happens? The body is supported. But when the body is supported, you are existing inside and beyond your body in the form of your aura. Food is coming and entering your body, and again going out. Matter is coming in as food and going out as excrete. You are standing there. Like that, the Lord stands there as this universe. Matter coming into him, matter going into him, himself standing as constant. We believe that something exists in our body. We are very confident that the food we eat, that stays with us. Unfortunately, it goes out every moment. If we move the hand from one position to another, we blindly believe that the whole matter moves. It is foolish. It is only the shape that moves. The matter that exists here will disappear, and again the space that exists here will enter into the shape, and we call it the matter of our hand. That is the truth of it. Someday we will be able to understand it. We should have a more scientific age to understand this, and some goodness, some more goodness, innate goodness in the human being to understand this. When we move the hand, it is only the shape that is moving. When we are standing here, it is only the space that is filling us in the form of the so many tissues of our body. How? The tissues are made up of some chemicals and minerals. The chemistry of the tissues is made up of the molecules of so many substances. The molecules are made up of the atoms of so many substances. The atoms are made up of the counterparts of the atoms. And the counterparts of the atoms are made up of the energies in the atoms. Energies are made up of the space. So we are filled only with space and nothing else. It's very difficult to understand this. Just like the ice block floating on water is in no way different from the water, except in the temporary change of state. One thing can exist as two things, water and ice block, one floating upon the other. It is only a presentation to the senses and the mind, which we can call the temporary illusion that makes us believe that there is the ice block and the water. Do you accept or not? If you don't accept this, give me a better solution. So we should try to enter into the scientific thought of tomorrow, not today. Today's scientific thought has only one eye and the other eye is blind. We have not gone beyond senses and mind, and we shamelessly call ourselves living in scientific age. So, are there two things or one thing here existing? Similarly, we have the tissues of our body made up of only space. So, when we stand here, it is only the shape that is standing, the remaining is space. When we come here, the space exists there, and the space here enters our shape, and we stand here with our tissues. If you take it like this, the space here is existing in the tumbler. If you move it here, that space remains there, and this space is existing here. This space is not moving with the tumbler. Similarly, the muscles and the bones are not moving with us when scientifically understood properly. Of course, with great hope that our bones and flesh are living with us, we are living. Let us long live with ignorance. Without ignorance, we can't live on this earth. We believe that we are stable on this ground. Suppose you ask me to stand here and speak. I cannot, because I am insecure, unsafe. Suppose you ask me to place this chair on this table and stand on the table and then speak. No Purusha sooktam. I cannot, because I am more stable on this ground. Why? We believe that the ground is not moving. Do you remember that the earth globe is moving at a tremendous speed around itself? Just as an idiot and a fool who sleeps in a jet aeroplane thinking that it is not moving. We are idiots standing on this earth thinking that the earth is stable. Is the earth stable? Do you call me scientific if I say that the earth is not moving? Is the solar system stable? The whole solar system is taking its journey like a jet plane, along with the fellows, the planets, the pilots, etc., the air hostess, along with all the breakfast and all damn things in the plane. And announcements and everything. Along with all these things, the whole thing is moving. But we are in the plane sleeping. I sleep in Bombay and wake up in Geneva. Therefore, I don't know that the plane has taken a journey. I think I slept in my room and I woke up. That's all. That is how we feel stable on this earth. So, blessed we are because we are ignorant. Otherwise, we would not have felt life so much secure. Unless we feel life secure, life is not worth living. I should believe that my wife is sweet to me and I have a long life to live with my wife. Otherwise, life is not worth living. So, blessed are those who are ignorant. Spiritualism explodes all such concepts of blessed ignorance. So, surpasses, the Purusha surpasses all the material that passes through him as food and drink, etc., and the tissues and the bodies. So, the law of metabolism works out in the Purusha, and the Purusha is not captured by the activity of metabolism. He is beyond it, because he is described as the eater, the eaten, and the process of eating. He is there as the geometrical center of the triangle. That is how the Mahabharata describes. The great spiritualist and warrior Bhishma, when he was on his deathbed after the war, Lord Krishna comes to him and asks him, "You are a great hero of war. We could not do anything, we could not face you, therefore we had to kill you through some foul means. But I know what a blessed soul you are, you know everything." And Krishna asks him, "What do you want?" And he says, "Let me be switched off from the sensations of this body, because I want to be with the Lord in my last moments, not with my body or with my sensations or minds or hopes or thoughts." That is what he says. Then Krishna gives him a touch between the eyebrows, and the connection between the physical sensations and the consciousness is cut off, and the person exists without any pain in his body. And then he begins to offer his prayers, says, "You are the eater, you are the object, and you are the food that is eaten, and you are the process of eating. You are one in all these three things, as the geometrical center of the triangular activity of the universe." That is how he prays it. This is a commentary of this verse. That is, the same fellow exists in what we call food. The same fellow exists in the eater of the food. The same fellow exists in the process of eating, which we call action. That is what this fourth line means. Meditate the Lord like that. This is the second stanza. We go to the third stanza now. Yatavanasya mahima ato jayam cha purushaha padosya vishva bhutani tripadasya amrutam divi. Etavan asya mahima. If you divide the word, it becomes ataha. Ato becomes ataha. Jayan cha purushaha. Pado becomes padaha, and this becomes asya. Vishva bhutani. Tripad asya. There is another a here. is greater. Amritam Divi. Now about the word meaning. Etavan. This much. Asya. Of him. Mahima. Greatness or splendor. Ataha. More than this. Ataha means more than this. More than this. Jayan means greater. Cha means also. Purusha means person. Padaha means 1/4. 1/4. Asya means his. Vishwa means all. Bhutani means beings. Tripat means 3/4. Pada means 1/4. Tripat means 3/4. Asya, the same thing, his. Asya means Amritam, immortality. Immortality. Divi means in heaven. This is the word meaning. And then we try to understand the translation of the whole verse. It is as follows. This much is the splendor of the Purusha. This much is the splendor of the Purusha. He is always greater than his splendor. That's the second sentence. He is always greater than his splendor. All these beings are included as 1/4 of him, as 1/4 of him. The remaining three-fourths is eternity that shines in heaven. Now, here the word divi also includes the meaning in light. So you should include this meaning also in your concept. So you can say that the remaining three-fourths is eternity that shines in light also. So it is said, Asya Mahima Etavan. This much is his greatness. If anyone is great, he thinks of his greatness as something greater than himself. That is what a human being does. And then he becomes a fool. If I have money, I believe that the money is more valuable than myself. In that way, the human being becomes a fool always. If I have some great genius, I believe that my genius is more valuable than myself. So, even the genius can live as a fool by believing that his genius is greater than himself. But here, this Purusha is never a fool, because he is always greater than his greatness. That is what he says. He is never foolish to believe that his money or house is more valuable than himself. People live with the hope of their money as their security. People seek false security in money, houses, persons, friends, and relatives. And every time they are disappointed because they are seeking security in false sources. When they are themselves the security of every part of their body, do you know that your hands are living because you are there? Your belly is eating because you are there. You are not living because your belly is eating. So, the logic should take a better turn, a healthier turn. If I believe that I am living because I am eating, it's foolish. I should understand that I am able to eat because I am living. So we have a peculiar logic with which we are living on this earth. We should have a changed logic, change it to the original form. We are having only substituted secrets with us. So we should someday reach to the point of genuine secret. We are foolish in many ways in believing certain things. Here, the greatness of the Lord is, he is always greater than his greatness. That is what he says. The greatness of the sun globe is, he is always greater than his light. Sunlight is there, but he is never distracted by his light. He stands original and his light stands always secondary to him. That's why the living beings are all secondary to the sun. The whole solar system is only secondary to the sun. You to have such a center in you, called the Lord, and begin to live like that. Don't live a secondary life. That is what is called the life of soul consciousness. The remaining is soul consciousness. We have the consciousness of our soul under the boot. So he says, Ato jayamsya Purusha. Always the person is greater than what he has. Because he has two things with him. That is my body. Understand that the I am in you is not your body. But when the body is traveling, we say we are traveling. Suppose I say, I am going. I go like this. And then what happens after going for a few yards? I will be called back because this is there. This microphone is clipped to me, therefore Robert calls me back. The wire is there. And I say, after the lecture is finished, I take it, put it here. I say, I am going. You can ask me, are you going or you are going with your garment? We say we are going. Are we including the garment? The I am foolishly includes the garment also, because I go with my garment, I say I am going. And also with something else. And also with the glasses. Do these things include in the I am? And I say, this is water. You question me, is it yourself? I say no. But I drink the water and say I am going. I never care to say that I am going with the water. So, we have two things always with us. I am and that which is with me, or mine. My body, we also include the body in I am. For many people, I am means their body. So, when the time comes for the disposal of the body, they think that they are going full. Excuse me, I have not used the word. The word is used in the scripture called Mahabhagavata. He says, fools think that they are dying when the body is going. That is what he says. The story begins with a fellow who receives a curse that he would die within 7 days because of snake bite. And the fellow had the grace of a master who approaches him. And the master says, what do you want? And the fellow says, I will die within 7 days. I want something to understand about the eternal and the Lord and the eternity. Then the master says, again repeat. He says, I am going to die within 7 days. And the master says, remove that sentence from your mind, and the remaining is that which is eternal in you. That is how the book begins. You see, you follow the logic. The wonderful situation. Here, the master asks him to repeat the sentence. He says, I am dying within 7 days. Then the master says, if you remove this sentence concept from your mind, the remaining is what you asked for, that is the eternity and the Lord. It is there. That is how the teaching begins in the book. So, here we have something of mind. When we believe that all this luggage is ourselves, it goes someday from us. You can ask me, what is your weight? I say 65 kilos. Is it my weight or the body weight of the body? A very big grand lady was there at the booking office in Madras, and she said, I want a ticket for Bombay. She said, wait. She understood it in wrong way. She said, my weight was not inquired even in the aeroplane. Where do you want? He just asked her to wait. He thought it was the weight of his body, her body. So here we have such a situation. The doctor asks me, what is your weight? The answer should be 0. But we say 63 kilos. So the doctor is intelligent and we are more intelligent, having better common sense. We say that it is our weight. But when the doctor says, you are going to vacate this room, that is the body, then the patient believes that he is dying. So in the Mahabharata it is said that there are 2 people who die. One is those who die. The other group of people are those who leave the body. There are 2 sets of people. Some people leave their body, some people die. So, from the group of the dyers, you should be lifted to the group of those who leave the body and yet they live. So here the concept of Purusha, we should eliminate the concept of mind and have a filtered, nascent, clear concept of I am. Even the body contains the same fellow, but the body consciousness is something which is different and which works as a luggage. Just as you have the ice block in water, you have a second concept called ice, whereas there is only one thing in 2 stages. Here we have body consciousness as a second and different consciousness, which we believe that it is ourselves. You should have the absolute consciousness of your existence in the form of your body, your mind, your senses, your buddhi, your nirvanic and paranirvanic planes, only as parts of the one yourself, the I am who shines through all. That is called the Purusha. So he says that all this is the splendor of the Lord, but he is always greater than his greatness. It is, he is never involved in any one of his properties of matter or space or time or splendor. It is always beyond. And there is this concept of one force. All this creation, what we see around us, through space and in time, that is past, present and future put together, forms 1/4 of the real existence, whereas the 3/4 is in the real light that exists. That concept we will explain tomorrow in the tomorrow's lecture. Thank you.